Alrighty, I think I'm live. Alright, so I have cut 8 different of these guys, 8 different soles, and I consistently trace the same line. Line the line up with an existing line here, as you can see, and I'm slicing through. And what's nice about this, taping it down, is I can go from one side, hook it, and run it, and I flip it to the other side. I've already finished this one, and I'm going to go on this side, finish this guy. And after I finish this, I'm going to start thinking about construction. But I'm not going to glue anything together until I know what I'm doing at the very end of putting this sole together. Hold on here. And I've studied the shoe, and I've determined that I think that I'm going to have one continuous sole on the top of the sole and one continuous on the bottom, and all the soles in the middle are going to be cut at different lengths. Now, the reason I scored these all the same, I might go back and score the middle of a couple of them, I'm not sure yet, but the reason I scored them all the same is because on this shoe, excuse me, it curls up, and it curls up in the back. So I figured no matter what, I can always cut some of this off, and I might as well just do it now. It's easier, it might be a little more cutting, but it's just easier not worrying about it later on. So what's happening here, if you study this kind of tapers down to a really thin length, almost like 2, maybe 3, but 2 of these guys. So if I were to hold this like this, the thickness of that and the thickness of this is pretty similar, but then it starts to get wider and wider here, and it gets wider here, and then it kind of starts to flatten out, but then it tapers up. So it's this like continuous curve that I have to really think about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one definitely representing the bottom. I just have to get my other shoe. This is the wrong shoe, but one representing the bottom plane, and then one's going to represent, if I could put this inside the sole, one's going to represent the inside of here. And then all the others, as you see here, are going to be cut at different lengths. So what I might do is I might just draw a line on one of them, for example, and just say, I'll cut the first one here. So then I'll just cut this off. And then that's the one that I would glue basically here. And then I would put these two together. But just to get the idea of what I'm thinking, I'm just going to slide the middle one down a little bit. And when I glue these together, it's going to, I'll probably pull it down a little bit more. It's going to do one of these things. There might be a little gap in there. So in order to lessen the gap, I might sand off the top of this a little bit to taper it down. I might just get sandpaper and do one of these things. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking about it now. And because everything bends, and when you glue it and smush it, it might work its way out. I'm not sure yet. So I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But so if I do the first one this, and it slowly gets bigger, then the second one, that one was here, then the second one would be a little lower. And then the third one would be lower than that. So that one's here, and the third one would be like here. So you can kind of see how these three, they would gradually get lower. You can kind of see the diagonal line there. Turn it this way. And then when it gets bigger, all the way up to the midpoint right here starts to kind of get high again. At that point, it actually straightens out. So maybe I take some off the back on this end. I don't know. Again, I'll get to that point when I get there. But what I'm gonna do is probably cut one of these guys, this one first, as my experiment, because I can remake one of these. If I just screw up, I can make another one. It's not a big deal. But I'll cut one of these and then I'll sandwich this between it. I'll angle it up. I'll see how much of a gap that I have, and I'll see if I can prevent that gap from showing by sanding it down, and that will inform the rest of the process. So again, I'm kind of like figuring this out as I go, and that's how I expect you to work as well. All right.